The movie opens in ancient Rome, where an architect named Lucius is struggling with financial troubles and a lack of new ideas. Despite his best efforts, every concept he presents is rejected by his clients, who deem his innovations outdated. One day, his friend takes him to a public bathhouse to relax. Lucius, however, finds it to be the worst place for rest, as it's filled with noisy, naked people. Overwhelmed by the environment, he dives underwater to escape and remains submerged for a while. Unexpectedly, Lucius notices a small whirlpool forming at the other end of the tub. Curiosity piqued, he swims toward it but is suddenly caught by a strong current, pulling him through a tunnel-like passage. Struggling for air, he finally emerges to find himself not in the Roman bathhouse, but in a modern Japanese bathhouse. To his shock, the place is filled with old men, who stare at him in disbelief as he stands naked in front of them. Lucius, unfamiliar with Mongolian features, mistakenly assumes the men belong to a flat-faced tribe. As he recovers from the shock, Lucius is amazed by the advanced facilities of the bathhouse, far beyond anything he's ever seen. The baskets, taps, and massaging devices baffle him, and he regrets not thinking of these innovations himself. In his exploration, he accidentally wanders into the women's changing room, only to be knocked out by an elderly woman's scream. Next, we meet Mami, a struggling manga artist who is inspired by Lucius's appearance and begins sketching his portrait. After some time, Lucius wakes up to find a bottle of flavored milk in his hands. The sweet and cold drink astounds him, and he finds it so delightful that it causes him to lose consciousness again. When Lucius regains consciousness, he's back in ancient Rome, surrounded by men who inform him that he drowned in the bath but was recently revived. Initially, Lucius believes his journey to Japan was nothing more than a dream, but the empty milk bottle beside him proves otherwise. 2 months later, Lucius successfully pitches his renovated bathhouse concept, incorporating advanced innovations like baskets, massage booths, and flavored milk. His ideas are met with widespread praise, and he makes a fortune. While in the bath one day, an old man wishes aloud for a bathhouse in his home. As Lucius contemplates how to make this possible, he's once again pulled by a current, this time landing him in a 21st century bathtub. A man asks for his help with bathing, and Lucius is introduced to new tools like shower heads and shower hats. It turns out the house belongs to Mami, who once again finds Lucius, this time lying on the floor. Mami rushes to grab her sketchbook, but when she returns, Lucius has vanished. Back in Rome, Lucius creates a bathtub for the old man, earning a fortune in the process. With the money, he can finally afford to provide his wife with better meals. However, she remains unhappy. She desperately wants a child and complains that Lucius is always busy working. Their argument ends with her angrily cursing him and storming off. A few days later, Lucius is approached by a messenger from Emperor Hadrian. The emperor is known for his cruelty, with rumors suggesting he has killed cabinet members who opposed him. Word of Lucius's innovations has spread, and even the emperor is interested. Upon meeting Lucius, Hadrian reveals that he is an admirer of art and considers Lucius's work on the public bathhouse a form of artistic expression. Impressed, the emperor commissions Lucius to create a personal bath for him, one that is extraordinary, innovative, and unlike anything ever done before. Lucius accepts the challenge, determined to impress the emperor. He spends the entire night searching for inspiration, but finds nothing. Frustrated, he realizes that all his ideas are just copies and not original enough to earn him true credit. Suddenly, he falls into a ditch and disappears. Meanwhile, in the present day, Mami is working at a bathroom supply store, struggling with her career as a manga artist. To make ends meet, she takes a side job but finds it difficult to stay awake at work. One afternoon, she accidentally leaves the water running, causing a tub to overflow. Just then, Lucius appears in the tub, gasping for air. He stops when he realizes the water is bubbling on its own. The store manager goes to complain about the strange man, giving Mami and Lucius time to talk. Lucius hands her a coin and asks for a tour of the store. Though she doesn't understand the language, Mami shows him around. Lucius is amazed by the urinals and believes that printed toilet paper holds the secret to the success of the flat-faced tribe. However, what fascinates him most is the bidet. When he tries it, he feels as though he's in heaven. Inspired by everything he's seen, Lucius returns to Rome and builds the most extraordinary bathhouse for the emperor. It includes a toilet with constant water flow for cleaning, a tub with bubbles created by slaves blowing air through a pipe, a glowing aquarium, and scented candles. The emperor is thrilled with the result and rewards Lucius with a special necklace featuring a sculpture of dog legs and human genitals. Lucius rushes home to show his wife his achievement, only to find her in bed with his best friend. In the future, Mami returns to her small hometown after facing repeated failures in generating manga ideas and being dismissed from her side jobs. She starts working at a local bathhouse while studying ancient Roman history. Intrigued by the coin Lucius gave her and his mysterious disappearance, she becomes determined to uncover whether he was truly a person from the past. Back in Rome, Lucius has lost his will to live after his wife ran off with his best friend. One day, a messenger approaches him with troubling news. The emperor has recently lost his son and now believes that a crocodile is the reincarnation of the child. Lucius is tasked with designing a place to house the crocodile and ensure its care. But he must be cautious. If the animal dies, he will be held responsible and declared a national criminal. Lucius visits the emperor's bathhouse to check the water flow as requested. But when he enters the tub, he is pulled into the future for the third time. He emerges to find himself in a crocodile sanctuary, trapped in a cage with the reptiles. Coincidentally, Mommy is also at the sanctuary on a date she dislikes. She seizes the opportunity to get rid of her date when she spots Lucius and brings him out of the cage, showing him around the sanctuary. As they walk, Mommy forgets all about her date. Lucius learns how to properly care for crocodiles and their habitat. Mamie, curious about Lucius's past, takes him to an archery range to test whether he's really from Roman times. Lucius hits every target, confirming her suspicion. Later, he finds himself in a hot spring, which transports him back to his own time. Months later, Lucius successfully designs a perfect place for the emperor's crocodile son. The emperor, now treating Lucius like family, invites him to the palace regularly. Things in the city are going smoothly until the emperor learns that rebels are attacking his troops. The rebels are determined to dethrone him, leading to a lengthy and brutal battle that lasts over a year. As the emperor grows old and prepares to retire, he plans to pass the throne to his nephew, Sionius. Sionius's first project as emperor is to build a new bathhouse to gain the people's support, and the emperor wants Lucius to help. However, Lucius is conflicted. His principles clash with Sionius, who is arrogant and proud. Lucius believes that if Sionius ascends to the throne, the Roman Empire will inevitably fall. After much contemplation, Lucius goes to Sionius and refuses to work with him. Sionius warns him that opposing the emperor is treason, punishable by death. But Lucius stands firm in his decision. Lucius seeks out a fellow architect, pleading with him to take on the project, but the man is furious, blaming Lucius for his financial ruin. Their argument escalates into a fight, and Lucius is pushed into a well. The next scene finds him with the flat-faced tribe once again. Though injured, they treat him like one of their own and bring him to a hot spring for healing, as the spring's water is said to have restorative powers. They also offer him fermented alcohol, which burns his throat. Lucius then meets Mommy, who has learned basic Latin. When she asks for his name, Lucius, heavily drunk, falls on top of her, and the two of them drown in a lake. When they regain consciousness, they find themselves in Rome, to Mommy's surprise. Mommy learns that Lucius is about to be executed for defying the emperor's orders. Desperate, she tries to persuade him to accept the project, but Lucius refuses. To save his life, he leaves home with his belongings. Meanwhile, in Japan, a group of elderly men searching for Mommy accidentally fall into the lake, where they too are caught in a whirlpool and pulled into the past, just like Lucius. Lucius, traveling to a different city, stumbles upon a natural hot spring on a hill. Remembering how the flat-faced tribe had cared for him, he realizes that the spring could benefit the emperor's wounded soldiers. Excited, he rushes to Mommy to share his idea, and she agrees with him. Lucius then presents the plan to the emperor, claiming he was instructed by Antonius, another potential heir to the throne, more qualified than Sionius. Lucius hopes that Antonius will help improve his standing in the emperor's eyes. With permission to proceed, Lucius, Mommy, and the flat-faced tribe get to work. In the following hours, they build the first hut near the spring, and gradually more houses are erected, transforming the site into a resting point for soldiers. The tribe cares for the wounded, using their knowledge of modern medicine to heal them quickly. Months later, the emperor's soldiers win the battle against the rebels, celebrating with drinking and dancing. Lucius and Mommy, now closer than ever, sit together in private, discussing their time spent working on the project. They've developed strong feelings for one another, and Lucius is the happiest he's ever been. However, the flat-faced tribe suddenly disappears, and Mommy begins to vanish before Lucius's eyes. Before she fades away, she tells him there are multiple ways to reach Rome. Back in Rome, the emperor appoints Antonius as his advisor, and Lucius is publicly honored for his bravery during the battle. The people recognize that without his efforts, they would have lost. Meanwhile, in the future, Mommy starts a new life. One day, while walking through the city, she spots Lucius emerging from a pond. The film ends with their reunion,